Good morning, friends. Today I'm going to show you how I make my chocolate nonpareils. This is one of my favorite treats to make during the holiday season or any occasion. Let's get started. I'm going to show you how easy it is. So I like to use the double boiler method, and you could use a big bowl like this, or you could use a top bowl like I showed you. I got that one at IKEA like a few years ago. They don't make it anymore, but I do see things like that on Amazon. But I like to use a bigger bowl. I feel like I have more control. You could also use the microwave and then microwave your chocolate, but I don't own a microwave, so I can't use a microwave. I found that I never used it, so we just got rid of it. I'm using some semi-sweet chocolate. You could use dark chocolate or milk chocolate. Our family likes a combination, so we do semi-sweet, and these are just some regular chocolate chips. You don't have to use any fancy stuff like melting chocolate, wafer discs. Semi-sweet chocolate chips work really well. And then I'm going to just dump them all into the bowl. And I already have the water simmering. I'm not going for a rapid boil because I don't want my chocolate to burn. So now I am just going to use like a rubber spatula or a silicone spatula, and you want to make sure you're constantly moving it. You don't want it to burn. I'm going to get a better angle, sorry about that, and brighten it up just a little bit. So the chocolate is pretty dark in there, and now you can see it a little bit better. Again, we don't want to burn the chocolate, so we're slowly mixing this now. And I'm just going to keep mixing this until it completely melts. And as you can see, it's really melting on the bottom because the bottom is hot from that simmering water on the bottom. And if your bowl gets hot, I want you to be super careful. Like I said, I showed the one that has the handle. That also does get hot if the pan gets too hot. What I like to do is actually tilt my bowl more towards the bottom of the pan so the bottom is getting all of the heat and then the top isn't getting as much. Now my bowl is not hot, but I'm showing you another option. So I have these really cool oven gloves that I like to use for when I'm making my breads in my Dutch oven. My Dutch oven gets super hot. So you can use like that. It also helps with a good grip on the bowl. As you can see, it has those rubber grippies. So that's another great option if you have a bowl that could get hot. So I love these gloves. They're one of my favorite purchases and I use them pretty much daily. I've not used oven mitts probably in 6 months since I've gotten these things. They're great. Now our chocolate is completely melted. I'm going to prepare our sprinkles. I'm using nonpareil sprinkles and I'm going to show you that right now. So in 2 cake pans, I used my nonpareil sprinkles. What I did is I put the holiday ones in one container, and then I used the festive, fun, sprinkle, melody, whatever you want to call it, rainbow. It's not quite rainbow because it doesn't have like blue in there, but I used the multicolored in another one. And I'm also just using a spoon to dollop these in. You could also use a piping bag, but I don't want to waste the plastic, and I feel like I have a lot more control by just using a spoon to drop them right in. I can make them bigger, smaller, and I honestly will say when I've used the piping bag, sometimes they look like little poop emojis. I don't know other way to say it, but they kind of give it like that swirl line, and I just prefer to use a spoon drop method. But you could also use a piping bag. You could use like a ketchup container, like you know those ones that you see at like a restaurant, they have those squeeze bottle ketchups. They have those for chocolate as well. So if you're at a chocolate store or like what is it? Michael's now. I almost said E.C. Moore. E.C. Moore is not around anymore. How sad. Joanne Fabrics. Any of those stores, they should have a chocolate squeeze bottle. You can even find them on Amazon. So I'm just taking a spoon and just dropping them in. And this is really all you're going to do. You're not going to cover the top because nonpareil chocolates will have the chocolate side and then the nonpareil sprinkle side. Now, if you wanted to make a ton of these, like let's say you did 2 bags, this is actually perfect for the amount that I did. And I wanted to do 2 different types of nonpareil sprinkles. You could also use a baking sheet. Now, I did not use a baking sheet because I needed a smaller container. I have just the perfect amount of sprinkles in each of these cake pans, and I didn't want a ton of sprinkle waste. So what I will be doing is using these sprinkles for cookies, and I am going to make sugar cookies with my kiddos tomorrow probably. So they're perfectly fine to reuse. Like if I was using these for cookies, I would discard the rest of the sprinkles because you don't want to use sprinkles that touched any raw batter. But this is just chocolate, and we're going to be able to safely use this for cookies tomorrow. And we'll even have a little bit less than this because I'm going to be making some white chocolate nonpareils with my kiddos later, which I'm super excited about. So we're going to test that out. I have to make sure it works. We're going to be trying, I think it's going to be mint extract. I couldn't find a safe mint oil for my little guy who has food allergies. They all come into contact, unfortunately, with nuts or dairy. It's super hard finding things that are allergy friendly. And these sprinkles are allergy friendly, as well as the chocolate chips I'm using. They are from Trader Joe's and they don't have any of my kiddos' allergens, which I really love. So now I skipped ahead to the multicolor sprinkles and I am just about done. We finished most of the chocolate. There's probably like a tablespoon left in there if I really scraped all the edges. And I'm going to let this set in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes and they'll be ready to enjoy. You want to try one? So my little guy has food allergies and he's never tried a nonpareil, so go ahead and pick out which one you want. We have some holiday sprinkles and then we have rainbow sprinkles.
I want this.
You want this one? Do you want a baby one? Look. And then you just scoop them up and then there they are. Here, try it out. Thumbs up. You could use like a slotted spatula or your hands, clean hands. Gloves work well if you don't want to put like any fingerprints on it. But these are just for us. I will be making these for gifts for families, probably towards the end of the month. I like to make them fresh. That one got a little star on top. How perfect is that? So these are a little bit bigger and I'm noticing that some of them kind of poured onto the bottom of the tray. That's totally fine. They're still delicious nonpareils. I love how that one did get a star though. And that one, oh, that got a line of a sprinkle. There's a little baby. You want a baby one? Those nonpareils are a little bit bigger. And they're just so good. Look perfect. And they don't have to be all the same size, which I really love. Like they can just be whatever size you want to make them. So I'm going to do this for my pictures for my site so you guys can see the bottoms as well. And I just love that that one has a star right on top. That's so crazy. Our chocolate nonpareils are all done. We used holiday sprinkles and then some regular ones. They're all dye-free, but you could use the regular Wilton with dye because they have a lot more flavor options and color options when you can use dye. I just prefer to go dye-free. And then we did holiday. Here's the multicolored ones by Watkins. It's like a smaller nonpareil. That's really good. We also did the Better Goods. They're a little bit bigger of a nonpareil. Let's try it. That one's a little more crunchy. I like it because they're bigger. They're both really good. One thing I will say is you're not going to notice any taste difference or texture difference with the sprinkles that are naturally food dyed. With the food dye sprinkles, they're going to be a little bit more vibrant in color. If you didn't see my previous video on my favorite dye-free sprinkles, you can check that out below. I'll leave a link. And I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. We will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye, friends.